Hello, and welcome to Strategic Planning for Nonprofit and Public Organizations.
My name is Lindsay McDougall, and I will be the instructor for this course. I'll tell you all a little bit about myself. I am an assistant professor here at Rutgers University, Newark. I received my undergraduate degree from The Ohio State University in Natural Resources Policy. I did a master's degree at Duke University, where I studied corporate environmental management. While at Duke, I also worked for IBM in Research Triangle Park, North Carolina. And in that capacity, I worked to help local nonprofit organizations to advance their mission to our employees. I did my PhD at the University of San Diego in the School of Leadership and Education Sciences, where I specialized in the area of nonprofit and philanthropic studies. After pursuing my PhD at the University of San Diego, I then went on to do a postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. I then went on to an assistant professor position at Northern Illinois University in DeKalb, Illinois, before becoming to Rutgers University, Newark.
In today's module, we'll go over some of the course assignments and expectations. However, we won't have an opportunity to review all of the assignments and expectations for the course, so please do read the course syllabus carefully. All of the material is outlined in detail in the syllabus. You'll also read about why strategic planning is important in nonprofit and public organizations. Now, some of you are probably wondering, how could we possibly spend an entire course studying strategic planning? But this course is as much about strategic management and governance as it is about strategic planning. Strategic management is the appropriate and reasonable integration of strategic planning and implementation across an organization or other entity in an ongoing way to enhance the fulfillment of mission, meeting of mandates, and sustained creation of public value. Strategic management encompasses both strategic planning, which is a deliberative, disciplined effort to produce fundamental decisions and actions that shape and guide what an organization is, what it does, and why it does it. And it also includes strategic implementation, the ongoing effort to realize and practice an organization's mission, goals and strategies, the meeting of its mandates, continued organizational learning, and the ongoing creation of public value. Leaders of nonprofit organizations must be effective strategists if their organizations are to fulfill their missions, meet their mandates, satisfy their constituents, and create lasting social value. So much of what we focus on in this course will be around the notion of strategic thinking. Strategic thinking is thinking in context about how to pursue purposes or achieve goals. This includes thinking about what is the context? How might or should the context be changed? What are or should be the purposes? And what capabilities or competencies will be needed in order for our organization to achieve these purposes? Built into this process of strategic thinking are two related concepts. The first is strategic acting. Strategic acting is acting in context in light of future consequences to achieve purposes and or to facilitate learning. Strategic learning is any change in a system that by better adapting to its environment produces a more or less permanent change in its capacity to pursue its purposes. In this course, ultimately, we'll go step by step through the process of strategic planning and what it requires to develop an effective strategic plan, from the initial stages through plan preparation, to review, and then subsequent implementation and evaluation. Although this is an online course, we will rely heavily on the use of group work. And I know that some of you may not be very familiar with working in groups in an online environment, but there are a number of benefits to working in groups, whether on the ground or online. When properly structured, groups can reinforce skills that are relevant to both group and individual work. Please review a number of these benefits below. In terms of the assignments and expectations for this course, I won't go through verbatim what's already posted in the course syllabus, because much in this course, you will be evaluated based on your active participation. You will also be evaluated on one written assignment. The details of that assignment are posted in the course syllabus. One of your individual final assignments for this class is a strategy practice notebook. Your strategy practice notebook is your individual written exploration into how course material relates to an organization that you are currently or previously have been familiar with. This is basically your own personal strategic planning journal for this course. Throughout the semester, you should be keeping track of theories, concepts, and relevant activities that have added to your learning on strategic planning. And at the end of the semester, you'll submit your strategy practice notebook as evidence of your cumulative learning. You will also complete 3 case reports for this class. The case reports will be conducted in groups. The dates for the case reports are indicated in the syllabus. In groups, you will also present selected readings for certain weeks. The presentations will be made via VoiceThread. The presentation should summarize key concepts of the selected readings. And since everyone should have done the readings, this should not simply be a regurgitation of the material, but a succinct overview. The final project for this course is a group assignment. The final project is to create a strategic planning guide for either a nonprofit or government organization. Essentially, few of us would get in a car to take a trip without a road map or knowing where we were going. Strategic planning serves as a road map to help our organizations figure out how to get where they want to go. This process includes examining strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and then planning future operations in a prioritized and realistic manner. This class will provide We'll begin by examining the strategic planning process, from what is strategy to how do you implement and evaluate it. Then we'll look at the role of leadership in the strategic planning process and how to go about leading organizational change. It's important to remember, though, that as we go through the course, there are many approaches to strategic planning. And strategic planning is just as much an art Please review a number of these benefits below.